Hey guys, this is not going to be an ASMR video. I'm just going to be doing a quick update on the mouse that I just got yesterday. This is the Corsair Katar Pro Wireless. I made a video about it yesterday because I just got it. I was very excited, and yeah, well, it's broken. It's the sensor just stopped working. I don't know what else to say. Just quite frankly a little bit perturbed right now because I thought that Corsair is a very reputable brand in the gaming industry. I have a Logitech G102 side by side here to compare with it. This is a mouse that my girlfriend got for me. Thank you, baby. And this is, of course, a wired mouse, and I'm just putting it here for a little quick comparison. But first, let me tell you what happened with this mouse. So everything was just working great. Yesterday and earlier today, everything was just fine. I had a lot of fun using this to play games, just browsing the internet, using the computer normally. Everything was fine, everything was great until today, suddenly, the sensor just stopped working. So, why do I say the sensor stopped working? Because, well, the mouse cursor won't move. And no, it's not the battery. It's not the power. I have turned it on to both Bluetooth and 2.4 gigahertz wireless mode, and it's just the sensor is broken because the clicks still work. So if I turn it on, the light still comes on. However, if I click the right key, it will still give me the like the little taskbar. So the buttons still work, back, forward, and back. They all still work, but the sensor is broken because excuse me. It's on right now, and usually. Even with the PMW sensors, you should see a little bit of a light there, a little red light. But no, you can only see like the light that's turning on the front, and the light that's peeking through the crevices of the shell. Yeah, there's no light at all coming through this sensor, so it's just broken. It doesn't track anymore. The cursor stays exactly where it is on the screen, and it just, well, whether I put it in the 2.4 gigahertz mode or the Bluetooth mode, it just simply will not do a thing. So there's really no choice but to return this product. I thought it looked nice. I still do. I still think it looks nice, and it's really comfortable in the hand. Very lightweight and easy to carry. Small size. I don't think there's anything really wrong with it, except of course besides the fact that now it is broken. So yeah, this has to go back. But let me just do a quick comparison, do a quick review about it. So most of it, most of everything I want to say about this mouse is pretty good. So the hand feel is nice. I don't think anybody, even with my fairly large size hands, this is not uncomfortable. Very light, very easy to handle. The clicks feel nice. The clicks they feel nice. Although I would say they feel a little loose compared to the G102. The G102 just feels tighter. I really wanted to give Corsair a chance here because I really have been using Logitech mice for a long time, and I trust in the brand. But I thought, instead of always going with Logitech, perhaps it would be a good choice to also try Corsair. And well, this time I gotta say they really dropped the ball here. They really let me down. So this is already getting ready to go back. So you can see I've already put the 2.4 gigahertz receiver back. The battery's still in there. I'm probably gonna take that out, but I'll just keep that in there so I don't lose it before I return it. It is a little plasticky, So it's not, it doesn't feel like a luxury product. It's meant to be lightweight, compact. You don't really need all that rubber coating or anything like that. I think this is very nice because it allows you to clean it very easily. The DPI button is in the middle, very convenient. Scroll wheel feels nice. The clickiness of this mouse, I just like it. I just like it. Too bad it's broken, but yeah, it is what it is. This will have to go back, obviously. So if we compare it to the G102, they are very similar in size and shape. So let's see here. The G102 is slightly longer, I think. They may not be very different in terms of exact dimensions, but the reason why the G102 feels a little longer is because it's actually narrower. It's actually a little narrower compared to the Katar Pro Wireless. And if we move it to this angle here, you can see that the top of the Katar is really flat. It's really flat. So when we hold our hand, using the mouse, when we hold our mouse using our hands, there's a natural curvature, right? In the natural curvature under our knuckles. And so the G102 in this particular case would fit that shape better, that natural curvature. Whereas this will feel like you're really just laying your hand flat on the mouse. So depending on what you like, this may or may not be your cup of tea. I do like the hand feel of both mice. The buttons and the shape are fairly similar. I wouldn't say exactly one is better than the other. You might like the little bit quieter feel of the buttons on the G102. However, people have mentioned that Logitech doesn't use the best micro switches in their mice, so this might not last as long as this. But all of that is a moot point, because I don't care if the buttons last a lifetime. If the sensor is broken after just 24 hours, then this mouse has essentially become useless. It's like saying you have a great car, everything about it is great, but it has no engine. Yeah, if this mouse can't function as a mouse, then no, then this has to go back. Overall, I would say these are great mice if this worked. Because it does have Bluetooth and 2.4 gigahertz connection. There's no wired connection, which I think is fine, because using a battery, it's no problem. You can get rechargeable batteries. That's perfectly fine. And the size, the compact size of this mouse really just, is really attractive for me. Just like the G102 and of course the G305, which is the wireless version of this mouse, essentially the same shape, just without the wire and using a USB dongle. The G305, however, does not have Bluetooth. So if you're comparing on pure specs, the Katar Pro Wireless does have more connectivity options. The sensor on the G305, not the G102, the G305 is using Logitech Hero sensor, which is very power efficient and very accurate, high performance for that kind of power efficiency especially. So in terms of sensor, this Katar Pro Wireless is using a PMW 3325, which is an old sensor, but it works just fine. Before it broke, it was tracking perfectly. So I dialed the polling rate of this. Yes, you can dial the polling rate from 125 all the way to 2000 actually. So this is an update on the Katar Pro Wireless, because on the website and all the official documents, you're going to find that it only polls up to 1000 hertz. But when you check the newest IQ software and the firmware update on this mouse, it actually gives you 2000 hertz polling rate. I decided to not use that 2000 hertz polling rate, and actually not even the 1000 hertz polling rate, because I don't have any fine instruments to measure this. However, I did notice a considerable amount of jitter when I'm using those kind of high polling rates, 1000 and 2000, I feel like my fine movements are just getting way too pronounced, and those tiny little discrepancies between the sensor and the surface on which I'm using the mouse is just simply just too chaotic. So I actually have found that my gaming performance is much better using the 500 hertz polling rate, which I think is really what this sensor was designed for. I think going to the 1000 and 2000 now, even, I think it's just really pushing what this can do. And well, when you go to the limits of something, something is bound to break, and it did, and it did. I don't know if it's the fact that I use the 2000 hertz polling rate that's caused this, but well, Corsair did condone it and actually endorse it with their own software and their own updates. So maybe this is an issue. Maybe this sensor is just not meant to go that high, and there's a possibility of it simply failing to work, because now it just looks burnt out because there's no light coming through it even when I turn it on. And well, it doesn't even, now it tracks at 0 hertz. So yeah, this is a big disappointment. Maybe Corsair is very famous for making its keyboards and headsets and other peripherals, but in terms of light, small, compact gaming mice, wireless gaming mice, especially, Corsair just isn't that good at. So I'm gonna put that aside. It is no longer useful. It's going back. It looks pretty. It's still brand new, basically. It's a day old. Yeah, so I think in the future, if I'm going to be buying a wireless mouse, I'll have to go back to Logitech because, well, they have served me very, very well. Maybe in the future, if Corsair can improve on their products, I'll give them another chance. But so far, I have to say I'm not impressed. Not impressed at all. Oh, and there is another advantage of Logitech over Corsair here. And actually, from what I read on Reddit, Logitech has a major advantage over companies like Razer or Corsair or ROG. And that's the fact that while both of these mice have onboard memory, Logitech mice tend to keep onboard memory in the true meaning of the word, in the true sense of the word. So what onboard memory is that if you change your settings on the computer, that all those changed settings get saved onto your mouse. So if you unplug your mouse and then you bring it to a different computer, all the settings that you have changed will be kept on the mouse. And that is partially true for the Katar Pro wireless, because the DPI settings that you save here will be here. Okay, it's no problem. And the color that the DPI changes, that notifies you of the DPI level, will be saved. So the color and the DPI settings will be saved, and that's it. So you cannot save your macros. You cannot save your remapped keys, your key binds. The moment that you turn off the IQ software, which is the Corsair software that controls, that modifies this mouse, customizes your mouse. Once you turn that software, that program off on your computer, all of this is gone. All of the remapped keys, the macros, the key bindings, they're all gone. So the only thing you have left is the DPI and the color on your mouse. So normally I would have my DPI button set as the home key. So when I'm scrolling, I don't want to scroll all the way up. I just press the DPI button, boom, it goes to the top of the page. Okay? And that works when IQ software is on, is running in the background. The moment I turn off the IQ software, I exit it, it's done, it's gone. This becomes the DPI button again, so it changes my DPI, but it doesn't bring me back home anymore. It's no longer the home key. I have to turn the IQ software on again in order for this to function as the home key. And I don't like that. Okay, I don't like that. I don't want to have a background program running, all the time. I want to just have it saved on the mouse. So if I go from my laptop to my desktop, oh boom, I just press this and it brings me to the top of the page. If I want to change it back to a DPI button, I want to change it in the software and then forget about the software. But it won't let me do that. So this onboard memory is kind of a misnomer. It only saves certain things, not everything. So it's it's a partial memory. It only saves one part of your settings. Logitech. I don't know about this mouse because honestly, I've just been keeping it here in my closet, and it's used as an emergency mouse, like a backup mouse. But I've been using the Logitech G502 for the better part of 7 years now. Okay, so back when it first came out in 2015, I've been using it, and it can save anything and everything, all the changes that you make onto the mouse, no problem. It has not failed me at all. 7 years, Logitech, 7 years. Not this one, but the G502 that I'm still using. 7 years, no problem. And this just broke in a day. So what can I say? I hope Corsair will improve on their products soon. But for now, I have no choice. Their mouse pads are great. I like their mouse pads, but Katar Pro Wireless, especially this one, what a disappointment. So needless to say, I'll be going to other brands, probably back to Logitech in the future. But yeah, no, this is not an ASMR video. This is a rant and about a guy who was upset, who lost the function of his brand new mouse in one day. But yeah, that's about it. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys are interested in this mouse, please just avoid it. I really cannot recommend this. Maybe another mouse, but not this one. Thank you very much and have a good day or have a good night. Bye-bye.